Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Wyatt, and today I want to review this new film called The Sheep Detectives, which is a movie that I had no interest in it whatsoever. I thought the trailers were terrible. I remember watching the trailers when I went to go see a certain movie, and it was playing in front of it, and it looked cringy. It didn't look like it was all that appealing. Watching talking sheeps solving a murder mystery, it just didn't look good at all. It didn't do a good job to sell me this movie, but the reviews started to come out and it generated a lot of positive word of mouths from critics. Some people were saying that this is one of the best films of the year. And I'm like, you got to be smoking crack. You got to be out of your mind. But I kept an open mind. I went in with an open mind and just went in to see if I'm going to like it or not and see what all the fuss is about. And this movie, you're following with Hugh Jackman's character, George Hardy, who is a shepherd who has a meadow of his own, and he lives out in the English village called Denbrook, and he reads this murder mystery book to his sheep. And he loves and adores his sheep, and one day he gets murdered, and it's up to one of the sheep to solve the case of who killed George. And that's the plot of the movie. So this movie is directed by Kyle Balda, who did the Minions movie and did the Despicable Me 3. And I was like, okay. But it was actually written by Craig Mason, which, in case you don't know who Craig Mason is, he's the same guy that was the co-showrunner for the Last of Us series with HBO. He also did another HBO limited series called Chernobyl, which got a lot of Emmy nomination and got a lot of wins. And it was actually based on a book. It was called Three Bags Full by Leonie Swan, and that book was published back in 2005, basically 21 years ago. And I had no idea that this was supposed to be based on a book until the movie ended. And you got an incredible voice cast. You got Julia Dreyfus, who is the main character of the sheep of the herd, the whole group. She's the one who's trying to solve the mystery of who killed George, and she was all very appealed to listening to George reading that book, and it made her smart of the whole group, and she wants to solve the case herself. And things get a little bit more complicated than she anticipated when she leaves the meadow, her and her friends. And I thought that it was such a great concept of a sheep who has been sheltered all of her life, not seeing the outside world, not seeing any of the gray area because she sees black and white. And I had no idea that this was voiced by Julia Dreyfus. I think she did a great job of adding so much gravitas and making me care about the character. But my favorite character was the Sebastian, played by Bryan Cranston, who is a black sheep, and he's a lone, basically a loner, a solo type of sheep, and I loved his character. His character is a little bit more jaded, and I love his performance, and Bryan Cranston's character, Sebastian, is my favorite character of the whole movie. Every one of the voice casts of the sheep were fantastic. Patrick Stewart, who's also in the movie, I thought he did a great job of his voice acting performance. This is probably the first time in a long time that he's actually worked with Hugh Jackman on this film since Logan, even though they didn't share a same scene together because he was doing a voice recording for the dialogue. And you got Bella Ramsey, who's also in it. You got Brett Goldstein, who's playing the whole Horn Sheep twins. I thought they were funny. This movie is one of the better murder mystery movie. It definitely came off a little bit of a Knives Out vibe to it, and you are always wondering of who killed George. And every one of these human characters can have motive to wanted to kill him in the first place, and everybody's a suspect. I thought Nicholas Braun, who was playing the cop of this movie, who's trying to solve the case himself, he does come off a bit of an imbecile, bumbling cop type, and he could have come off very annoying, but he actually had a real purpose, and he's actually grown on me, and he was absolutely amazing by the end of the film. Emma Thompson, who's playing George's lawyer, who was the one who was in charge of the whole will, I thought she was great. She was very charming as usual. Nicholas Galitzine, the actor who's playing He-Man in the upcoming Masters of the Universe, he's playing a journalist who's looking to crack a story in the English village town in Denbrook. He was actually a damn good. But in every of these human characters, you always got to keep an eye on, and there's always some great clues. There are moments in the film where you almost saw it coming, but then it pulls a 180 on you. And I am a sucker for a murder mystery of who done it. I love it, and I thought they did a very good job of crafting the murder mystery and the clues, keeping you in the suspense of who done it. I thought the actress Molly Gordon, who was playing, Rebecca, who is the daughter of George, of Hugh Jackman's character, she was amazing in this movie. I remember she was in another raunchy comedy film called Good Boys. She was fantastic. She's a character that, Hugh Jackman's character tried to reconnect with her right when he was writing a letter to her, and it added so much heart, and it added so much joy, and there were some really heavy moments with the sheep. And I love the concept of the sheep where they're so isolated in the meadow and they're isolated from outside of society. And when things go tough, they tend to make themselves forget on command because they don't want to face any tragedy. They don't want to face any loss. They don't want to accept the aspect of death. And when things get tough, they make themselves forget. But the whole idea is that you should never forget your loved ones that has passed away in your life, because all this stuff is what makes you who you are, because you don't want to forget all the good stuff that you had memories of of them in your life. Because if you tend to make yourself forget, and you're just basically destroying the memories of your loved ones, not facing the loss, not facing the death. And I loved it, and I love how they were able to execute it. It made me care about these characters, the sheep, and and I felt so much emotionally connected with them. God, I never felt this joy in a while. This movie made me feel. It made me feel all emotional, and it made me walk out of the theater with a giant smile on my face. I love when movies make you feel good every now and then. It kind of had that the aspect of the film that reminded me of another movie called Babe, which I thought that film was fantastic, and it just brought back some of the elements from this movie. And it is a great murder mystery. They really kept you in the suspense of who done it. It never became anticlimactic when you found out who the killer is. It really pays off by the end, and you felt cheering by the end of the movie, and you felt so much joy and warmth with the characters, especially the sheep characters. I thought they were fantastic. Oh god, there's so much more I want to say, but I don't want to give away any of the plot points. But all the performances were fantastic, especially the human characters. They could have come out very annoying, but they really tend to grow on you in the end. This is definitely one of the best films of the year. This is definitely my second favorite movie of the year, and this is a great year for MGM Studios. Yeah, sure, nobody is going to go see this movie. Right now, it's not tracking well at the box office. It made over 30 million worldwide on a $75 million budget. And I get why people don't want to show up to go support this movie, because the marketing didn't do a good job. The trailers didn't do a good job to get the audiences to want to go out and support the film. Yes, it's an original film, and yes, it's an adaptation of a book, and nobody's going to know that this is an adaptation of a novel, but it is a great original film that it is worth supporting. Sure, there was a few moments in the film that the sheep characters, that they go a little too far with the silly physical comedy at times, and it goes a little bit of a far fetch. And it's one of those times where you have to turn off your brain for the moment and suspend your disbelief. But it did not undercut the tone. It did not undercut some of the dramatic moments, because there are some heavy, dark moments that were like, wow, this is supposed to be a kids movie. It's a PG film. It's a movie that that we don't often see, like this movie, that it could have been done back in the 90s. This is a film that I highly recommend checking this out in theaters while you still can, because it's still playing in theaters right now. And if you want to take your family out to see it, and you want to feel the joy and warmth, and you like a good murder mystery, this movie's for you. And this is not going to be a type of movie that you're going to see a lot of explosions. It's not that type of film. And Hugh Jackman, even though he's not in the film as much, but when his character shows up, it definitely pays off. And I love how they've handled him. And I love Hugh Jackman in the movie. I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. This is definitely a rewatchability. I definitely want to see this movie again. I'm definitely buying this on digital for sure. 100%. It's well directed. It's well acted. Beautiful cinematography, beautiful music score. And it added so much warmth, heartfelt, and full of joy. Like I said many times before, all the characters were incredible. And I just wish more people to go out and support the film. And I encourage you, don't sleep on the sheep detectives. I know it doesn't feel that appealing to you right now, but once you go see it, I think you're gonna have a big giant smile on your face by the time you finish this movie, because it's fantastic. This is one of the movies that is a movie that was not on my radar, and a movie that I had no interest in it. This is one of those movies that definitely surprised the hell out of me. And that doesn't happen that quite often. And I actually love the fact that movies that can surprise the hell out of me, and it actually ended up changing my tune. It happens. It does happen every now and then. But anyway, what did you think of the movie called The Sheep Detectives? Have you seen it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you know when my videos are up. And my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers. Help me get there. I would really appreciate you supporting my channel. And if you're new to the channel, and in case you don't know, I have a second YouTube channel called Small Zero. I co-host alongside with Ryan Cam and 3D Jake. We cover everything in the world that goes around in the movies, TV shows. We cover movie trailers and so on and so forth. We've been having a lot of major guests on our shows lately, and there will be more to come. And definitely go over to the Small Zero channel and hit that subscribe button. Go and support us. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to follow my social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, click the link tree in the description down below as well. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.